Yo ho ho! What's going on, guys? This is Grimm Reaper bringing you the next One Punch Man, Chapter 116 review. Check out our previous live reaction to Chapter 116. The chapter was amazing. So many high points, so many things to speculate on. The art was top tier as always, and I actually think we found a candidate for Panel of the Year, which we'll most likely be doing a video on around December or whatever, so make sure you check that out and be looking for all that kind of stuff. Be looking out for the One Punch Man podcast that's coming up in a few days as well. But let's hop into the greatness of this chapter. So right away we return to the Flashy Flash and Saitama encounter, which is, running as it was before, with the two contrasting in what they want, and the personalities really not aligning with each other. Flashy Flash continuously underestimating and questioning Saitama's capabilities or whatever, and Saitama just like, going about his business, seeing what this weird guy is up to down here and shit. There's one interesting thing that I want to hit on, and it's going to address something at the end of the video. So as we know, Nyan showed up in this chapter. Crazy entrance, and we'll elaborate upon that in a little bit. But in consequence of his actions, Wagunma is in the vicinity. Now, he's running. And because it's a support team, we don't really expect that many things to happen, but you can expect an S-rank fighter or a strong fighter to come and handle Nyan. He isn't just going to body the support team and then run off and kill Wagunma and then leave. I don't think it's going to be the result of what he gets, but at the same time, it's unsure. I've heard a prediction as crazy as saying that Watchdog is going to end up coming out of nowhere to handle Nyan. That's more of like an aesthetic thing, which I'll leave alone and I'll let those people marinate in that if they want. I personally, my only opinion that I have and that I've heard people talk about is Genos. Now, we'll hop on that in a second, but Flashy Flash and Saitama are moving incredibly fast, as we know. From the beginning, Flashy Flash was the first hero to actually fight because of his speed. So I don't think it's crazy to believe that there could be an occasion or a secret path or a corridor or some obvious steps or some hidden steps that send the duo upward, and then they end up coming up to the top of the association without even noticing it. So Saitama and Flashy Flash encountering Nyan is a true possibility. Now, I think it's a very low stakes one, only because of the fact that they've both basically taken out the majority of the dragons down here. But in between Saitama and Flashy Flash, the majority of the dragons have fallen, aside for one or two, if that. So I don't believe that they'll get another dragon fight. If they do, it'll be as a team associated with others, aside from Saitama, who I believe will end up fighting Grimm. So Flashy shouldn't help Saitama reach Nyan, which means that they should probably stay stuck down here, or they're going to separate and neither of them will ever reach Nyan and they'll go about their own ways. That's what I'm expecting to happen within the next two chapters, or within the next appearance of Flashy Flash and Saitama. But regardless of that, I wanted to point that out, that them moving around and being lost makes it plausible for them to encounter Nyan. There are plenty others that they can encounter, both heroes and enemies, but that's also a possibility now. Next, we got to the Panel of the Week candidate. Now, this one brought up controversy quickly, and I mean as fast as the reaction went up in Discord after people watched it. They were sitting there dropping panels, arguing and discussing, and people got annoyed pretty quickly. Now, I'm assuming it's because of the spectacularity, or I don't know how to probably phrase that word, or if that even is a word, but the majority of the things, or the candidates for Panel of the Year, are spectacular ones. Orochi versus Saitama, Flashy Flash coming down from the top, fighting the two ninjas, Atomic doing the focus atomic slash, all kinds of stuff, Mizuki panels, Fubuki panels, the Zombie Man versus Pureblood confrontation. All these crazy ass events have occurred within the year, from chapter 101 onward. All these crazy ass sites we've seen that are fucking amazing panels. And they ask, why am I bringing it up that this one is so significant, or should it even be considered within that same block? It's simple. So I am not an artist. I didn't major in any art programs or any art majors or anything like that. I'm just simply a guy who admires drawings, and a guy who pays attention in particular to One Punch Man, Yusuke Murata's drawings, and it's as well as different other sources and mangas that I read. The manner in which you place your events and scenery and how you do things, it speaks Manga is an art form that you convey stories with pictures more so than words, but you do have the crutch or the advantage of using words with it to describe exactly what you mean. But the majority of the conversation is done with the picture. He's done an amazing job of this. The key term that I'm going to use is three perspectives. There's three different viewpoints or perceptions of depth in this picture. The front where the two guys are fighting, where I forgot this guy's name. He's hitting him in the monster in the face, the one who has a blade. The narcissistic portion that's there with him. Then we have the twin tail, who's fighting the insect monster in the right back corner. And that, if you look at the road, it seems like your viewpoint seems like it's level, like it's straight and it's not going downward or like going into a different position. It seems like that's actually the road, and that it's not like in some pictures depending on the position that you put portions of stuff on the page, that's where stuff will look. And I'm just showing that you're that, like, even the fat guy in the back fighting the other insect, his positioning, just it all coordinates so well. Like these different things that are happening in different parts of the page, they all seem to work in tandem so well, while also being isolated, like in such a comprehensive manner. Like there's no way, there's nothing confusing about this picture. There's nothing I don't understand. Everything is clear and it's so easy to read. As in contrast to so many other different like fight scenes and stories, it's just, I just want to praise this panel because it's done so well using that technique. Like you see three different angles. It's amazing. Now let's hop on to the Fubuki versus Mizuki war. Now you already know this war has been raging for I think years now, maybe even 2 to 3 years now, since Mizuki's presentation. She took the show. Fubuki now had a true contender, aside from her sister, awkwardly. Last week, Fubuki took the cover page. Almost unprecedented display of sexiness from Fubuki's part. The princess came out in the dress and was just cool, and it was amazing. Mizuki's out here actually in the story, though, and she's getting that fighting complex out here looking amazing in her suit, taking out some monsters, looking sexy as hell in the positioning, real, suggestive like, and I love Murata for it. I love the fact that we're going back and forth with this, and it really does seem to be that way. A few chapters ago, we got another Mizuki setup, so it was appropriate for us last chapter to get a Fubuki presentation, but before that, even before that Mizuki setup, we actually saw some cute little displays of Fubuki herself in chapter, talking to Bang and Bomb, describing the scenarios and situation that was going on. So I'm just so excited to see where else the war is gonna go. We did get the presentation of the ninja girl that we had gotten a glimpse of in terms of Flash's contact with her. He revealed to us that she was a female, a ninja as well in the ninja arts. So it expanded the ninja verse, which we all love as well for the storyline and plot. But it also gave us another potentially sexy character. But because her drawings were kind of like iffy, like in backgroundish, she never got like her curves or her body really like established. In particular because of her outfit as well. Nobody really paid that much attention to her, and she wasn't even really memorable or even mentioned in conversations of like notable females. But this assault and the reveal may change that slowly. I'm interested to see if Murata Sensei is going to elaborate upon the character in recent. I don't think he will, because the support team seems like their role may be ending on a large part. They may be taking secondary importance, even more so than they were already before. But a lot of them are maybe even fatally injured. Unfortunately, we saw Mizuki laying in a puddle of her own blood in one of the panels, along with some of the other heroes. One shot even got shot in the face with a bullet that got redeflected from Nyan. So things aren't looking too good for them, and she's in that group, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out. But shit, you already know I'm here for that Fubuki Mizuki war, and you know what flag I'm holding up. Before we move on, though, I also want to mention, fuck Waganma. Pussy ass nigga, I don't, just fuck Waganma. Since we're already discussing the support team to a small degree, I want to point out how, like, the teamwork that we've seen from the classes below S has been spectacular. It's been noted several times in this arc itself that the teamwork among the S class is exceptionally lacking. It's actually a deterrent, an impediment to their achievement of success, or even in like their predictions to fight opponents. Their lack of cooperation hinders them. So to see that all the other classes below them utilize teamwork like so efficiently and commonly, even to the point where like there's groups and factions. We don't really have a group or faction in the S class. It's all below A, or that's all A and below. So it just goes to show you that like the potential for teamwork may go in tandem with the potential of these heroes as they grow. I'm not saying that we're going to see S class gangs or groups or 2 or 3 guys that have to be in S class together because they're like that, because we haven't seen that at all. But it's going to be interesting to see if these characters develop and how they develop, and what is going to happen when they do develop. If the new S class is going to be a thing in One Punch in the future, if like the new S class is going to be like strong, or if they're going to be teamwork oriented as they've been. It's just interesting to see that. Recently, or actually within the past afternoon in the Discord, make sure you check out the link in the description if you want to chat with us and have different One Punch and everything conversations throughout the day. We were addressing a comparison between the AB8, who encountered and tried to capture Garo, against support team interaction so far here in the Assault Against the Monster Association. Battle-wise, I personally think that the AB8 team should win if they were to go head on, regardless of the support team's greater number. And more speciality, it seems, too. The support team individually seem very, very capable, but the AB seem more capable individually. I'm not saying that there aren't guys in the support team that couldn't beat an AB member head on 1v1, but it seems like it's the opposite. They also had a larger collection of A-class heroes, while the support team is more spread out, and their ranks amongst their classes themselves are wide-ranging, from like 100-something to like the 30s to the high single digits, top 10. Just to point out that it's not a secondary part of the story. It's not a flash out of, it's not a break whenever we go to the support team or like A-class, B-class, C-class members in One Punch Man. And it never really has been. They've always been pretty entertaining to see, to follow around and to experience their combat of them, and to see the different things they can do, as well as the funny scenarios that they get into. One doesn't really hold back or give them plot armor. He usually utilizes the remaining cast members pretty efficiently for whatever his goals are, whether it's humor, combat, flexing on somebody, whatever it is. He does a great job with non-S class members. Now, Nyan's goal looks like he's set on Waganma. He did eye him, and he has been mentioning him. I don't know why he didn't want to play with the other heroes, more so Waganma, but we got a flashback of him doing that. So we'll see if we get more backstory from him. More so than a lot of the other monsters that we've seen so far, actually. We're starting to get more stuff from Nyan backstory-wise. I don't think we've gotten a single flash of backstory for Black Sperm. I don't think we've gotten a single flash of backstory for Gums, or even Fuhrer, besides the Ugmon presentation or explanation. So it's interesting that Nyan's getting these backstory or flashes to his past. We'll see how that has to do with how this character progresses. The support team on a majority part is down, and Nyan took him down with efficiency and quickness, zooming behind him, extending his claws, taking him out like nothing. As we mentioned before, it's not the most impressive thing that we've seen so far. It was drawn incredibly. I wanna directly say that I think that Nyan's entrance and presentation, not his Pooty one, but this one, is definitely top 5. Definitely top 5 for a dragon, and it's pretty entertaining. Like I said before, it's against the support team, so you can retract, deduce, remove whatever credit, hype you want from it in your personal opinions. I personally think it's still suitable and acceptable, and very, very enjoyable, which I'm pretty sure you guys enjoyed it as well. Now, this hero has been sent with Waganma to return to headquarters. I don't know exactly who's waiting for them at headquarters, but this is Z City, not A City. So there may be a different situation. There may be different heroes located at this headquarters in contrast to the other ones. I also believe that this hero has something peculiar about him. If you guys remember, whenever 100 Eyes Octopus showed up in the Super Fight arc, Bones was one of the heroes that encountered him and fought him, along with Death Gatling and a few other people, also including Flash and Tatsunaki. And Bones had this peculiar power that the more milk he drank, the stronger he became. Unfortunately, it wasn't strong enough to overcome the obstacle that was Octopus. But it was always really intriguing that somebody had a power like that. And imagining if they could scale it up, how devastating or badass they'd be. This character seems to be something on a similar portion, maybe a similar road to that. He says that he has to eat constantly to maintain his strength. So I don't know if he's going to get stronger from it, or if he's just going to stay the same level just by eating continuously. I don't know how that's going to play out. He fought an insect before on his own, and he's alive now. So he is capable, but how capable? And what can he actually put out on his own? Let's see. I'm excited to see this portion. And it should be really hype in the next chapter, or whenever it is that we come back to this Nyan confrontation. A lot of these pictures and panels were super memeable, so make sure you check out the Discord. We're going to be updating our emojis and our commands and all that stuff to be using them all in badass style. It looks so fucking amazing. Make sure you guys check out our Patreon to support the things that we do. We're on the road moving forward. We're getting a lot of shit done, so we could use support in like improving our equipment, getting more things scheduled, and you get special perks for assisting us, like access to the uncut version of the podcast, particular perks and advantages in Discord. And we're starting different projects like our channel interactive story, where you can join and put your input upon the story's progression and plot as it goes along. See you boys next time, man. Yo ho ho!